Hey Yammiez! Welcome back to another day, another vlog. You know how I do. I spoil y'all with these vlogs. So go tell someone else about this channel and how Oyama Botha is spoiling y'all. If you're new here, welcome. Do what you gotta do. Subscribe, share with your friends and your friends' friends and everybody. Anyway, today I'm taking you through what I'm doing today. I look cute, yes? And I'm going to be doing a podcast with Candice, aka Candy Bot, on Instagram. She hit me up so I can do a podcast about my body positivity and my journey and just basically living my truth. So I'm going to be taking you with me and showing you a bit of something. So let's go. Basking, darling. Basking. Ooh. He's a baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you sat for you
Look.
everything.
Oh.
Nicely, baby. There's another one.
Oh my god.
Just say nicely because he's naughty sometimes.
Okay.
Nicely.
Nicely.
There
Oh. Young setup. Say hi. Hello.
Huh? Oh, hi, I'm Candice Boddington, also known as Candy Bud, and today we're going to be talking on my podcast called The Podcast in a very intimate room in my bedroom with my puppy on my bed.
Where is he?
Vader! Look at there he is.
Oh god. Yeah.
So you can tune in next week, Wednesday. But the best. Alright, welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today I have Uyami. Am I saying that?
Oyama.
Oyama. Okay, let's start that again.
And you're so comfortable.
So, welcome to the podcast, everyone. I'm so scared to say it now.
Say it.
Uyama?
Yes.
Okay, welcome to the podcast, Oyama. Also known as Yummy, and that's
Yes.
why I'm getting so confused. I'm literally making you a new name. So, Oyama
Yes.
is the CEO of Yummy Hearts and Curves, which is an image consulting agency which encourages radical self-love as well as products and services that enhance holistic self-esteem for all. She's also the co-founder of All Bodies Are Beautiful meetup.
Yes.
Almost got that wrong. Which inspires everyone to celebrate themselves through radical self-love. She is a body positive curve model and blogger, and she is changing the world.
Oh, hey.
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, before we dive into the many questions that were asked on my Instagram, I thought it would be quite nice to maybe share a few nuggets of who you are and what you do and your personal journey towards radical self-love.
Okay, so I think you summed up the introduction so well.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's what I do. But beyond that, I am still at school as well. So I'm a master's student at UCT. My radical self-love journey has just been my life, really. So it started at, I think, during my teenage years. Obviously, as you growing and then you grow things and you're like, oh my gosh, what's happening to my body?
Everything's changing.
Everything is changing. And then that happened, and before I knew it, obviously then there was the whole bullying situation in high school, but I was not self-aware of who I was. But I remember that I've always been a confident person, but I wasn't like self-aware of that until I came to varsity. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm claiming my space.
Yes.
I'm claiming my space, and I'm claiming who I am in this space.
And was there a shift, or was there a specific moment where you were like, I'm doing this, or did you just feel like it was a natural progression from going from a space of being, I guess, a young adult to a full adult?
I think it was just a natural progression, really.
That's
but
amazing.
a bit of both, because I remember when I got to first year, I intentionally said, okay, this is it, this is who I am, and I'm embracing it. And then there was a girl from back in high school who said I should start a blog. And I was like, about what? What do you mean? But she was like, well, you're very inspiring, because I used to post a lot on Facebook and I've always loved pictures. So she was like, let's just do that. And then that's where the radical self-love hashtag came about.
Yeah.
And my first post was actually a bikini, well, tankini post. It was not actually an actual bikini.
What's
A tankini is that the part where the top is not...
Oh, it meets the bottom?
It meets the bottom type of vibe, yeah. So I remember my first post was that. And whenever I look back at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, now I'm out here wearing low-cut bikinis. Who would have thought?
Look at me now.
Look at me now, yeah. Other than that, I've just been living my truth. Now I'm not even conscious about the fact that I'm actually an inspiring person to some people.
Really?
Yeah, because
you're living your truth
exactly,
so deeply that it's not even like a thought. It's not even like a push to do it.
Yeah, it's exactly that. So that's what's going on now. But when I look back, I'm like, you know what? Sometimes I get it. I get that, because when I was young, I didn't have someone to look up to and be like, you know what, oh my word, this person really inspires me.
Yeah.
They're living their truth. I want to be like them. But the fact that I can be myself to other people and for myself
and almost
as well,
for
that's
other
like,
people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then that's amazing. So
that's amazing.
yeah.
I was actually quite curious. So I saw that you are studying at UCT, and then I also saw Oxford in your bio. I'm just curious. That's my personal question. What are you studying? What are you doing?
Going on?
And apart from everything else.
Okay, so I'm doing full-time masters public policy at UCT.
Amazing.
But last year I got to do a global summer course at the University of Oxford.
That's crazy.
So that was amazing.
Did you enjoy the experience?
I did. It was very thought-provoking and very intense, actually, for
especially
for a short
amount of time.
Exactly, for a short amount of time, exactly. So yeah, but I really enjoyed it, and I got to go into London and do fun stuff.
How did you find London? Would you move there, or would you choose here?
No, I wouldn't
it's too
move
cold
there.
for me.
No, I wouldn't move there, because I think I got homesick, and there were just things that I was just appreciating that are in South Africa. In as much as like it's so efficient, people like must go move on the left, and there's like lines everywhere.
Do you like the chaos of South Africa?
I love the chaos. I love the chaos here, please.
And the food is way better.
Exactly.
Well, that's just my opinion. I haven't been to London, but I'm just making that opinion up. Okay, cool. So I asked my wonderful community about you, and they're so excited to just get some questions answered. I think because it's actually not a topic that I cover so much, and that's why I'm so inspired by you. And I think that's why a lot of women do look up to you, because you have such a beautiful voice in the space, and you really do claim your space, and I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get into these. So first one up, how to create and cultivate true self-love, and what is self-love to you?
Okay, self-love for me is choosing to be yourself in a world that says do not be yourself. So it's literally,
and here's how many ways not to be yourself. Here's the tools.
Like who are you to tell me that? But not everyone can just tap into that. So it has to be a conscious decision of, okay, I'm aware of myself. It's tapping into yourself and being aware of who you are. And then from that, it's like, if you're gonna tell me I've got big eyes, I know. Like, are you insulting me? What is that? I know that.
Exactly.
Like, you can't tell me something I know.
It's like telling someone like, oh, you're really tall.
Yeah,
it's like,
I
know.
Yeah. Why are you telling me?
Like, thanks.
Thank you. What?
Yeah, like people always say to me, they're like, oh, you're so short. You're way so taller. And I'm like, I know. Cool.
And same thing to me, because I know like a photograph taller and smaller. Yeah,
it's about the angle.
Exactly.
And like shoot from down, and then I look
then
taller.
It looks taller. You have to show me those poses.
I will. But also, it helps having friends who are content creators.
Yes.
And they kind of know the angles.
Yes.
It does help, especially this past weekend.
I saw a girl. You look amazing.
Thanks. I'm very much about that vitamin C life and that orange suit. It's so great.
Love it.
Okay, so the same question, how to create and cultivate true self-love. I think you did cover that though.
Yes, that's
just tapping into your awareness.
Into yourself and just being aware, self-awareness, and taking it from there.
My question on top of that is, how did you realize that it was an awareness-based process?
Okay, it was when I knew that this is who I've always been. Like, I've always been a confident person.
Yeah.
But it took me just reminiscing on what was going on and what was happening, like back in boarding school. Because I remember this one time, I always talk about this story, how I've always been a big girl. And I wore a short skirt this one time to playtime. We had this playtime thing going on. And then one of our house, mom and dad, the dad said, "Come here, Oyama, you can't wear this." Like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean I can't wear this? Like, the skinnier girls get to wear their short stuff. Like, why can't I wear this? And the fact that I had always been able to think that I can wear something like that, that's
you
like
just brought back to like your childlike self.
I
like that.
Yeah. So I was like, no, man, I've always been this person. It's just that I was just not aware that that's me. Like, I'm confident and I claim my space. Like, it's just that now being at varsity and just growing older and just maturing got me to tap into that and think, no, man, I even remember a girl saying to me, "Oyama, you're so confident. Like, I really like that about you." I'm like, yeah, it's always been there.
Yeah, it's always been there.
It's always been there.
Just maybe, got lost maybe once or twice.
Yes.
But always been
of course, because life happens.
Yeah, it really does. Okay, so next one is this topic mainly female-based thing? And if so, why? So I guess that's an opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no facts on whether, but I personally think that men go through very similar things as women. We maybe just don't actually give them the voice or give them the space.
Or they don't give themselves the space. Because to answer the question, no, it's not mainly just a female thing.
Yeah.
Men also do have, self-conscious dilemmas that they're dealing with. It's just that, because for us as women and as curvy, big, chubby, whatever you choose to call it, women, we have got into a space where we've created a space for us to just come out and say, you know what, here we are, this is who we are, and empower each other while doing that.
It's like a sense of community that we know we're safe in.
Exactly. But for men, that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
And it comes with a lot of things. Why not say it's ego, with men?
100%. But, I mean, I know a lot of men who do, have their own, even mental things, and they have started coming out and talking about it. And I am a true feminist through and through, so I believe we all have an equal say in the matter.
Yes.
But I do think that there is an uprising of men talking about more things as well.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
And it's very important. It's very important.
And I think it's also important for a lot of women to not positively reinforce, but acknowledge and be like, I hear you. And like your feelings are valid. Because I think there's still a stigma for women to almost be like, don't be such a baby. Or like, I could say other rude words, but I won't say that online.
In fact, on my page, I usually post a lot of pictures of just celebrating women on the Yummy Hearts and Curves on Facebook. And then this one comment was from a guy. He was like, yeah, but I never see guys there. Because like on my description, description it says for women first, because obviously we have needed this so much more because society has just cancelled us in so many ways.
Well, also consumerism is largely based towards women.
You see?
So it's like, buy this to make your wrinkles go.
Exactly.
Buy this to lose weight.
Exactly.
So I think from a marketing point, we are maybe
more in need.
Yes, of a community based around radical self-love.
Yes. So I was like, no, guys, definitely. It's women first, but I say and men. But there hasn't been, because even the ladies would send me pictures like, please post.
Oh man, I like that. That's
because they'll be like, I've never been in a bikini before, but I saw you, and I was like, oh my gosh, I also want. And then they asked me to post them, and I do. But I'm just like, there hasn't been any guys who were open enough to do that. But there have been guys who say, you know what, I see you, and I see you, and I'm getting inspired from that.
You probably find there's a lot of silent value.
Cheer-ons, yeah, definitely. Yes.
Okay, that was Vader. He's back in the studio. Sorry about that. You might hear him.
He's licking my foot.
He doesn't like a lot of people, and he's
And he
really,
loves
really feeling you.
me.
Look at those ears. Alrighty,
Yeah.
Theta, stop distracting. Okay, how do I love my body when all I want to do is change it to become smaller?
Wow. Okay. So I always say that whatever you want to change, you can, but this would need to come from a place of not because you hate yourself, because self introspection will need to come in there, because let's say you want to lose weight and then you end up losing the weight, but there's still conflict within just how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
Then that would be a problem. There was actually a story I read about a lady who lost weight and she still felt the same way that she felt. She was bigger and then she lost the weight and she just still hated herself. So just tapping into why you're doing, what are you doing, and
the intention behind
what's the intention behind
your
it.
choices.
Exactly. And do not automatically think that losing weight will just equate to you automatically being in love with yourself
and being happy.
Because that's not going to be the case.
So I mean, I come from the other side, and I used to be very, very, very skinny, and I thought that getting lots of curves were also going to make me happier. And I ended up getting a breast implant and working really hard at the gym to like build a bum and get bigger. And I definitely didn't do it with the right intentions. I did it after quite a traumatic experience in my life, and I can say from the other side of the spectrum, it's not about what you look like. It's really not. But I think that sums it up really well. Loving yourself through the changes you want to implement comes to the intentions you set before doing it.
Like weight is like fluctuates,
and it honestly, like every single day my body looks different.
Exactly. So how are you going to base you loving yourself and saying, okay, today my boobs are bigger, so I completely love myself 100%. Then tomorrow, then they deflate. Then you're like, oh, 90%. Like, why would you put yourself through so much pain?
It is. I think that's it. I think it's pain bodies that we don't deal with. And then when we feel like we can create some sense of control over something like weight, it comes back to that we'll think we're happier. So basically loving yourself through just the entire process. Exactly. All right, next question. How do you handle not finding clothes in your size? And this woman has said that she is a size 22.
It's not nice.
Really?
It's not nice at all. How I handle it, I'm a big fan of clothes in general. So you'd find me just looking around all the time. And I'm a firm believer in you have to fit something. But sometimes a jean looks big, but when you fit it, it doesn't fit. Or a clothing item looks small, but when you fit it because it stretches, then it slides in and fits perfectly. But I know for some people, the fitting room is like...
It's like the scariest place
ever. So that's why for my platform, the other part of my platform that I use it for is just showing people what you can wear and where you can get it. Because I know for some people, shopping is just not a nice experience.
And you even document it on YouTube, so they can really get like a full experience of the places. I wanted to ask your opinion also. If you go to a lot of places, you can also see, you can choose the same size in different cuts, and they all, not different cuts, but like different styles. And they all are different sizes.
Exactly. And that's why I emphasize people to not emphasize so much on, I'm a size
this or
18
that or
or size, because sometimes, the other day actually when I filmed the YouTube video that you're talking about, is I took a small size top and I wore it, because it stretches, it fit perfectly. And now a person is gonna be all cranky about, oh my gosh, I'm an XL now. Like the last time I wore this, I was just an L. Like, don't focus too much on that. It's just clothing, and it's made in a mass production. They don't really care about
all the small differences in everyone's body.
Things, nah. That's why I just fit my things and just make sure that, you know what, if it's small, let me just get a size up. Doesn't mean anything about or doesn't say anything about myself. Like it's just size 18. It's
And
just
at the end of the day, you just want to feel good in what you've bought.
Exactly.
So it should just fit well.
Exactly.
I mean, that to me just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next one. What do you do when negative/judgmental thoughts come up? And I'm assuming they're talking about weight. I'm not sure. Or just the way they see themselves.
Okay, because I was going to ask if it's coming from you, judging yourself, or if it's coming from other people.
They haven't specified.
Okay. If it's
Maybe we cover both.
From other people, I hardly get negative comments generally on my social media and just people saying negative stuff about me. But if I do, it gets to a point where I'll even notice it. Then I just delete.
Yeah.
Delete and block.
That's exactly what I've done with stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't actually have a second to even
to
like,
entertain
let this
this.
in. Yes,
No,
entertain
no,
it.
no. I just, especially because I don't know, it's mostly from the people that you don't know. And I'm just like, no.
And normally it's
delete
actually a
and block.
projection of what they see in themselves.
Exactly.
And not necessarily because they don't know you on a personal level.
Exactly.
Unless they do, then how would you deal with that? Let's just say it's from a place of, like, let's say within your home or within your friendship group or just even in the same, like, college or university.
I think it's reevaluating the situation, reevaluating the friendship. I don't think anyone, oh, well, actually, I was going to go into deep with that, and then I realized, you know what, family comes in as well. And for me, that's a topic I'm still grappling with, because with friends you can choose, and you can choose to leave the space if they're not aiding into your growth and into your self-love. But with family, it's, especially in Black families, a lot of my community who are from Black families, they always ask me, how do you deal with this? How do you deal with going home and being told, oh, you're fat?
Is that what happens?
That's what happens. I kid you not. Or when you've lost weight, they'll tell you, oh, you've lost weight. I'm just like, honestly, unsolicited advice. Like, I really didn't. Like, they'll even advise on, yeah, you need to go to the gym now, or you need to do this. I'm just like, you know what? Because your family, like, it's like, oh, okay, like, I'm just gonna block my ears. I don't know, like, it's something that I've been trying to
Like
get my head, navigate to, because it's really, and you know it's gonna happen, especially like if in a different setting and you go back home, you know that's what you're gonna get, but you don't know what you're gonna say to it, how you're gonna respond to it. But if it's friendship groups, obviously you don't need that. You speak to them, you're like, you know what, this is not it. Or else from family, it can even come from a older person, and you still need to maintain that line
level
of
respect. Yeah.
So it's like,
And then, apart from friends and family, do you ever feel that way towards yourself? I feel like you haven't, but I mean, I'll ask just
Anyway.
for the woman.
I think because we're human, there's always gonna be a time when like, I wish this, and wanting things that you don't have.
Yeah.
But
And that's again seeking that happiness.
exactly, it's like it's totally against it. But I shut it off very quickly. I think when that human aspect of me comes through, I'm just like, girl, if it's about wanting, for instance, wanting the best version of my body, knowing the fact that, you know what, you were fit before and you loved it. Let's get back into it. It's a feeling, you know. Let's get back into it. And I'm just like, oh, I'll yearn for that feeling, and I can do something about it. Then why not? Then I'll do it. But if it's a case of like, I don't do that with things that I can't change. I don't do that with my birthmark, for example. I'm like, oh, I don't like where it's positioned.
Where's your birthmark?
It's literally in my inner thigh.
Oh, nice.
Inner thigh. And for big girls, they usually have dark inner thighs, because obviously your thighs touch, so they end up being dark. And recently I was also questioned, like, how do you remove the darkness? I'm just like, guys, I don't know, because I even have a birthmark that will never leave. But I've
Maybe
I've
that's
made
like a
peace with
blessing
that.
in disguise.
You
It's
know,
like teaching you the fact that this is who you are.
I like that. Yeah. So it's like, for me, it's always been a thing of, if I can change it, and it's
positive.
It's positive. Yeah. The intent is positive, and it's for my best interest. Then let me do it. But if it's something I can't change, I won't really nag about it. I'm like, oh my gosh,
why did God create me this way?
Yeah, you've just got a lot of self-acceptance,
Exactly.
which I think is why your space is your space.
Exactly.
Which I love.
Oh, and I was telling someone, if it was something that you can't change, right, the best way to fall in love with it is you look at it all the time. Like, take pictures of, if it's your eyes,
that.
you take a picture and you look at it, you're going to get used to it. It's like when you meet someone who is like, oh my gosh, you're weird. But you look at them for like a long time and you're like, you're weird. I like you.
I like it.
Exactly.
You're weird. That's literally what I said to Luke. I'm like, you're weird. I like you.
I like it. Exactly.
I really enjoyed this question, and I
Mhm.
think it's just because it's very relevant to everything that we're in, and that
Yeah.
is social media's effect on self-love.
It is great most parts, but it cannot be great in other parts because
Well, let's go to the great parts.
the great parts. Okay, so for instance, the fact that there is a bunch of people who create the accounts and they're based on sending the message of body positivity. Obviously, those are people that you can follow and get inspiration from. So it's great in that way, and the fact that you can spread positivity. But you can also inflict pain through social media by yourself to yourself.
Really?
Yeah,
In what way?
in this way that it's about who you follow.
Yeah.
So there's I've actually got a question similar to this other time I did an interview, and I told the people that it's a simple case of just in following whatever makes you feel a tap away. Because if it's an account that speaks to something like, I want to be like this, like maybe it's a glamorous account, beauty account. This girl, for example, looks so perfect, and then that doesn't necessarily feed into you trying to feel better about yourself and just it being inspired. Then just delete or unfollow and
I
take
think
those necessary steps to better
cultivate,
yourself and
yeah.
cultivate your own radical self-love.
Yes. Love that. Alrighty. So next one.
Mm-hmm.
Can you be body positive and still work towards losing weight? And I think you did kind of cover this when you said when you feel like it is a positive thing. Yes, you'll go do it. You'll go smash that gym session.
Definitely.
You'll choose whatever meal makes you feel good.
Mhm.
So I think just my opinion, I
Yeah.
think you can definitely still be
Yes.
positive
Yes.
and work towards losing weight, especially if it's health related.
Exactly.
But your take? I feel like we're on the
same,
same. I feel like we're on the same.
And I mean, obviously, like loving yourself comes with wanting the best for yourself. And if you know it's health related, you're gonna want to make that change. And if you love yourself, it means you want to be healthy. So if it's on a case of you're on this journey because you need to get healthy and you need to be right with your health, that's something you'd want to do because, I mean, why not? Then you die. Then what?
So dramatic.
Like,
you're not healthy, then you die.
You're gonna die.
It's funny. Coolios. Okay, so how do I stop? I think this is a really well-needed answered question, and that is to how do I stop comparing myself to other girls? I think you did mention something that I think would be a huge way to navigate through that, and that is choosing who you follow on social media.
Yes.
Because I think whether we like to admit it or not, we do spend a lot of time on it.
I was about to say.
And I think just cultivating who you follow and look up to and who you interact with, engage with, and all of that is a huge step to not comparing. I even do that from a work point of view.
Yes.
So if I see someone doing really well and it triggers me if I'm in a space where I can't do that, I go, cool, it's fine. Like, awesome for them. They're killing it, but I can't look at it right now.
Of course.
When I feel like I'm in a better space, then I will.
Yes. And you know what's great with Instagram now? There's this mute and unmute situation.
I love it. I love it.
So when you see, like, you feel some other type of way about what you're seeing, but you still love the person for just who they are.
Yeah,
but
I'm like,
what's
I dig
currently
you.
happening, you know?
Yeah.
Just mute, just for your sanity.
Now, they say, though, that person has a friend or is at the workplace and they're comparing themselves to that person, maybe in a physical aspect, what would you say would be your best advice for that then?
Yo.
That's difficult.
And because a person you see every single day.
Yeah.
Well, I never thought about that before. What can you do? Well, and it's not like you can avoid them.
No. I mean,
but this, this comparison, they say, is a thief of joy. So comparison comes from just not being completely full with yourself.
Yeah.
That you need to be honest about. So it won't automatically just happen that this one day when you get to work, you're just going to be okay with the fact that, they still bomb and you feel like you're not bomb.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen overnight.
No.
So it's just self-work, really.
Yeah.
Because
like what you're saying, I think it's the work that needs to be done inside, and then instead of focusing so much on the outside, focus on the inside.
Exactly.
Work on your mental
because
patterns.
when you mute that button, what do? You go and you try and be the best version of yourself.
Exactly. So doing that in real life, basically.
Exactly.
Muting what your perception is of someone.
And then working for yourself. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Okay. Where do you find decent... Okay, this just went to the opposite side of the spectrum. But we're here for it. We're so here for it.
Okay.
Where do you find decent bikinis that aren't super expensive, that fit well?
Okay.
I feel like you would definitely know this on anyone. So I'm actually very curious.
Because I've got a lot, you see. So I'm trying to think, where have I...
Top 3.
Yeah, top 3. Okay. Okay, a disclaimer. I get them on sale most of the time. And I'm always looking. It's not a case of, it's summer, let me go find a bikini.
Yeah.
Mr. Price, I've gotten some from Mr. Price. But it's mainly been a full suit, like a bodysuit. And then Cotton On as well.
Do you find their cuts fit well?
Not so great.
Because I even struggle with them.
Yeah, not so great.
I just find the bottoms...
But it's just that I wanted to look cute at that point and...
You're like, I love the colour.
Okay, I'll take a picture and I'll swim a bit and I'll post on Instagram. Yay. But they are... It depends on the material as well, because I remember this orange one. It fit very nicely from Cotton On. But Mr. Price, the ones I've gotten from Mr. Price have been very comfortable and
that's
very
actually really good to know.
priced. Yeah. But it's a case of looking when you're not even looking.
Yeah.
Because when you go look when you want to look, then you're not going to find anything.
I feel like that's with everything in life.
That, and what else? I've gotten cute bottoms from H&M as well. But let me see. Yeah, I'm thinking of reasonably priced as well. So what's the price?
Have you ever tried bacon bikinis?
I've tried them on a shoot. And actually, you know what? I loved it was an orange bodysuit and I loved it. It's just that because I've got big boobs, like on the side, it was like an open back type of situation. And you just reminded me because I wanted to text them and be like, yo, here's a suggestion. Please do it like this and this and this. But they're actually very reasonably priced. I saw they've got a sale.
Yeah,
even.
50%.
I was like,
you're like on it. And I'm actually curious. So let's just say you love a bikini.
Yes.
And you wear it. Do you have any hacks of maybe like changing it or like switching it up or like using something else as a bikini that's not really a bikini? Maybe
yes, definitely. The other day I bought Calvin Klein a two-piece bikini two-piece, but this was the time I was in London, and then when I came back I just paired it with bottoms from H&M, and then I paired the bottoms again with I paired the top with H&M bottoms, and then I paired the bottoms with a sports bra.
I was just about to say
an entire sports bra. Yeah, and it had the zip thing.
Oh, that's
nice. If you wanted demo cleavage,
little bit of like James Bond, Halle Berry coming out.
So it's literally a case of just mixing around and playing around with colors and with whatever brand that you find wherever. But that's like with clothes as well.
Exactly.
That's what
I wear some bras and sports bras.
You see?
And a Calvin Klein as well. That's why I was like, I also sometimes not focus so much on what it is, but rather how
How
it
it
fits
looks
me.
and how it fits. Yes.
And not get too like caught up in the fact that this is a bikini, this is sportswear, or the things. Where are we? Okay, advice on embracing your big thighs and cellulite. Firstly, from a science point of view,
Yeah.
cellulite is not something for big or small people.
Everybody.
It's literally the way that fat deposits in your body, and women, yes, are more prone to it, but it's not something that is for a body or that body or whatever.
True.
So just a science fact.
Like, big thighs don't equate to cellulite, then small thighs don't equate to not having cellulite, basically.
No, it's not that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, just wanted to clear that up.
Okay. Embracing. So this is just holistically about how do you embrace your body and how do you embrace things that are seen as some things that you're not supposed to have.
Yeah.
Oh, Veda feels so nice. Yeah. I think he's sleeping.
He is sleeping. I'm so surprised. Like I said, he's not really like the friendliest dog because he's a rescue. So he's just very apprehensive of people and roads and anything really. And he's literally sleeping behind you.
And literally right next to my big thighs, guys. He's
Love it.
embracing my big thighs.
So how do you love your big thighs? You get a
Get
puppy.
Veda.
You get
And that is a
I'm
wrap.
just putting on a shoe. That's why I look ridiculous.
Guys, how cute is Candy? Candy.
How beautiful is the Yammiez?
Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you so much.
But yeah, we just finished up the podcast now. It'll be
Yes.
up next week, Wednesday. And I'm not sure if you spoke about it, but it's just about
Talk and talk.
talk about body positivity and cultivating your own self-love.
Yay!
Yeah, so thanks
Tell
for
them
joining.
to subscribe and do all the nice things.
Is this on your YouTube? Oh, subscribe, like, see you next time.
Oh, no, you didn't. Yes. Thank you, guys. Mwah.